The NuSpecies product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecies is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecies formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecies raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecies works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecies.
Order now at NuSpecies.com.
Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I am Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
NuSpeci's mission is to help our clients live better and longer. NuSpeci's invents and manufactures our own line of high-potency herbal formulas that support your body to be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and a good health choice means something different for each of us. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers you need to continue moving toward your unique health goal.
And we're sincerely asking you to invite family members wherever they're in the world to listen in. They don't have to ask questions. Just listen in. They might learn something that can help them, help their immediate family and friends or coworkers. So don't hesitate to do that. Just invite family and friends. It's Saturday morning, and I know everybody's up, probably going shopping and other things. So please do that. We also have videos on the NuSpecies app and on YouTube. You should share those videos in health and the videos in history with family members and friends as well, so that they can be kept up to speed with knowledge and information that they will find useful in their lives. So you all should become missionaries to help people, especially family members, to live better.
The Q&A is a really great place for them to join us, because if they are skeptical, if they have tried so many things that haven't worked, if they don't understand what you're trying to explain to them about NuSpecies, because even people who are open to natural health solutions, they may not understand NuSpecies because we are really different. And the Q&A is a great place for them to come because they can't ask a bad question, and we love tough questions. If we don't know the answer, we'll let you know. And if someone isn't a right fit for NuSpecies, we're happy to let you know that too. This is not a place where we're trying to sell to you or make you do anything. We just want to provide the education that will help you toward whatever your goal is. And if that's not with NuSpecies, that's fine. So there's no pressure. It's truly a place for them to come and learn, and we love them to be here with us.
Great. So be missionaries.
First pre-submitted question is from DMK. Can the NuSpecies products be taken while on Ozempic?
So that's a wonderful question, and I'm going to try to answer it differently because we've gotten those type of questions all the time for the last 20 years. So medication like Ozempic, Ozempic specifically, is used for, among other things, to help people with diabetes. The doctors just trying to get the medication to resuscitate the pancreas. So diabetes lives in the pancreas, certain cells in there that are damaged, and that's why people take medication that help to burn or remove the glucose, the excess glucose from the bloodstream. So NuSpecies is food. And if your doctors haven't said to you, come off these foods altogether, then that tells you that you can take NuSpecies, because NuSpecies is whole food. It's natural foods to support your body to cleanse itself, rebuild itself, purify itself. That's what NuSpecies is. So as far as we know, and as far as with all the work we have done with the FDA, they actually examine or test all our formulas. We have to submit to the FDA every bottle we put on the shelf. We have to test it and present the results independently to the FDA. Otherwise, it doesn't get on our shelves. So if we're selling you something, it means that the FDA knows what's in it and knows about it. So NuSpecies formulas are whole foods. So any medication you're taking, you can take NuSpecies along with your medication. In fact, we strongly recommend that you all take your medication while you're taking NuSpecies until your doctors take you off the medication, because you no longer need it. As I've seen probably every single day I've worked with all of you, I see where the doctor lowered the medication because your diabetes is getting better, your blood pressure is getting better, your cholesterol is getting better. And then when the issues are completely gone, the doctors do take you off the medication completely. I've seen it consistently. Just a doctor here or there who probably thought that it's the medication that was keeping the issue away completely would keep people on the medication a little longer, but eventually even those, the doctors would take them off the medication. So yes, NuSpecies formulas, all our formulas are whole foods, and they can be taken with your medication. So now, this is another subject matter I would like all of you to spread to your family members, because I know you have a lot of family members, especially the older people, who believe that they can't do anything with medication. They can't take anything with medication. It may be true for synthetic chemical products that are made in labs, but our formulas are whole foods. They're natural whole foods, so they can be taken with any medication. So please, you all, spread the word. A lot of you bring your grandparents and your uncles and your aunts and other friends and family members who are older. They would say, no, I can't take those things because they will conflict or interact with the medication. Not NuSpecies. We are different. Okay?
So a follow-up question to that would be, when you say they can take their medication with NuSpecies, do you mean that they are actually washing down their pill with the NuSpecies?
No.
We have to be clear.
what we suggest, and when you speak with our RNs, who are the ones who do the follow-ups and they do dosages with you all, what they will suggest is that you take your medication 2 hours or so after, or 2 hours or 4 before. So you can take your NuSpecies. NuSpecies is pure. You can take NuSpecies and it gets completely absorbed in your body. You take NuSpecies and within half an hour, some of our chemists believe that within 5 to 10 minutes, but we are more conservative. We say half an hour to an hour, even 2 hours. You wait before you eat or you drink, and the same thing goes for you taking your medication. So you take it 2 hours before or 2 hours or so after, and by that time, NuSpecies is completely absorbed into your system.
Headley joined us, Headley from Florida. He says, good morning. Thank you for educating the community and for helping me as a 56-year-old man to be 100. And he says he has 100% health, to be in 100% health. Well, we're also going to help you get to 100. I thought you meant that, because our phone number when we first started was live 150. Mm-hmm. So we would say 1-800-live 150 or 3150. Is that still our phone number now?
It is.
888-548-3150 is actually 888-live-150. And because our thing back then was to make sure that everyone who wanted to could live to 150 years old. Mm-hmm. So that's why I thought you meant that, Headley. But I'm very happy to hear you are in 100% health. That's excellent.
Oh, that's wonderful. And thanks for sharing that, Headley. And of course, I'm sure you're a missionary of NuSpecies, spreading the word. Our duty, all of us, those of you who are listening, watching, our duty, as long as you're a NuSpecian, our duty is to help the world to be better. And I would like all of you to begin with your own family, your children, your grandchildren, your parents, grandparents, your uncles, your immediate family members. I know they're going to bash you in the face and they're going to spit in your face and say, what are you talking about? I don't take those things. But guess what? Just imagine when you have to go bury them, right? Because they're silly. And that's why you got to take their silliness. You got to take it on. You have to be courageous and you take it on and say, oh yeah, I know, but it helps me and I think it will help you. Give it a try. Don't back down. Mm-hmm. When you're doing God's work or humanity's work, don't back down.
And also, how many other health companies, nutritional companies, supplement companies, do you know that you could tell your family and friends, like, hey, you could talk to the person who actually invented and makes the formulas every Saturday if you have any questions or concerns. So I think that in itself is a great selling point, and the Q&A is a great place for them to come. All right, Headley is asking, how many scoops of the detox powder can I take to get a smooth move daily? All right, so that is an interesting question because it has a couple of factors related to it. So the primary way that our detox powder works is that you are drinking water. So as you drink water throughout the day, that is fostering a movement. It creates peristalsis in the intestines. And along with like eating nice meals that have a lot of fiber, that's going to create peristalsis, and that's going to foster movement of fecal matter through your intestines. And so the powder is empowered by that movement. So if you are taking the half a teaspoon morning and night, and you are drinking plenty of water throughout the day, which a general rule of thumb is half of your weight in ounces. So if you weigh, I always give a weight that I can't easily do the mental math. If you weigh 100 pounds, you would drink 50 ounces of water per day. So do the math for your own weight. If you know you're drinking enough water and you still don't feel like you are getting the kind of movement you'd like, you can take more powder. Aston, what would you say would be like the maximum amount of powder you would tell someone they'd have to take?
I have told people to take up to a tablespoon, even twice a day, because it was so bad. But if you do that, you have to drink a lot of water, not fluids, water, not juices, not beers, not alcohol,
Coffee,
not coffee. You have to drink a lot of water, as Jill says. At least half your body weight in ounces of water you should be drinking. So some people have really slow digestive system, and it begins with the thyroid. The thyroid is not producing the hormones to tell the liver and the pancreas what enzymes or gastric juices to produce to digest the foods. Some of us, when we eat, the food sits in the stomach longer than the norm, and the longer it's in the stomach, once it gets to the small intestine, the foods, it's harder to digest. So by the time it moves slowly, trickle into the colon, it's already hardening. And that's why those of you who are in that situation, you need to drink more water. Water is what you need. You need the hydrogen in the water. You need the hydrogen in the water. The hydrogen hydrates. So when you drink juices or you drink other fluids, whether it's alcohol or beer, those have very little hydrogen in it to hydrate your body. They will not hydrate your system. So a lot of you tell me you do all this drinking of sodas and all this nonsense. Those are all garbage. You need H2O. You need the oxygen portion of the water, and you need the hydrogen portion of the water, and it's the hydrogen that hydrates. So I have advised people to take up to 1 or 2 even tablespoons per day until their digestive system, the stomach, the intestine, and the colon can relax over time and rebuild. And then gradually, when they start going more, they cut back to take in the normal dosage.
Okay.
So everybody's system is different, and everybody needs to take a little more because the digestive tract is slow. And you know that if your digestive tract is slow, you can get polyps, and polyps can lead to colon, intestinal, stomach, and rectal cancer. So if you're not doing number 2 or defecate at least twice a day, you likely have constipation issues, and you should be drinking more water and taking more of the detox.
And then the last factor would just be looking at your diet. So I would say, unless you know for sure you have a slow digestive system or you've had chronic digestive issues your whole life, you could simply just be eating something your body doesn't really want to process. Like could be eating too much bread, too much pasta, too much meat, too much dairy. Those things will certainly mess you up, and just not enough fiber in general. I mean, some people still eat those things, but they also eat an apple every morning, and they drink a smoothie, and they eat salad. So they might have had chicken on their salad. They might have had bread with their salad, but they ate a salad, so they had fiber. So I would definitely look at your diet as well, because, you might take all that NuSpecies and get the results you're looking for. But if you adjust your diet, you could also spend less on the products too, and just maybe allocate that budget toward another product that you'd really like to get. People always have to scrimp and scrape for their big boy and their queen nanny, and you could spend that money on something else more fun. So
Digestive issues are the most common issues I come across because there's so many digestive issues people get, and they don't realize that anything that happens in your stomach, your colon, your rectum, any of your intestines, anything that happens is a digestive problem. And what I say to people when they come to me, what I say to my clients, I say to them, you're now 30 years old, you're 40 years old, you're 50, 60 years old. Tell me, do you still feel those muscles on your hip or your arms when you were a teenager? Absolutely not. All those areas are getting softer and spreading out with fat cells. So the same thing is happening to our intestines. They're not as muscular. So there's a muscle called peristalsis. That's the muscle that pushes the fecal matter from our stomach through our small intestine into our large intestine called the colon, down to our rectum. Peristalsis. So if you feel that you don't have enough muscles on your arms and your legs and your body overall, the same thing is happening to all the organs, because you're not a kid anymore running around the way you used to, playing sports and just active. You're not. So the body's going to slow down. When our bodies slow down, we lose muscle mass everywhere, our heart, our brain. And I'm going to tell you that's one of the main causes of aging, premature aging, but aging in general, losing muscle mass. And that's why exercise is so critical. Exercise is absolutely critical. I would say the two most fundamental things for human beings on earth, one is oxygenation, the other is motion, exercise, always moving. So that's how you're going to get your digestive system to move. That's how you're going to get all your organs to function, because when you exercise, you drink lots of water, you're going to have better blood circulation. And wherever in our bodies we have proper blood circulation, it is not likely to develop into diseases. The primary cause of cancer is the absence of adequate oxygen in that tissue. Primary cause of cancer is lack of oxygen.
All right. I did give June an idea. June had mentioned she also has to work on her water consumption. So something that used to help me before my child started messing with it, so if you don't have a 4-year-old, you should be fine, is I would get, I don't know if you know what washi tape is. It's commonly used in like scrapbooking, but it's a kind of tape that you can easily peel on and off. And so I would take my water bottle, which usually would be metal, and I'd put like a strip of washi tape for each day of the week, and then I'd always have a marker in my bag. So whenever I refilled my water bottle, I'd tick a mark on my washi tape, and that would help me remind myself how many bottles I filled for the day. And at the end of the week, I would pull the tape off and then put new tape on. And I stopped it because my son was picking all the tape off, crumbling it in little balls, and then throwing it in my water. And so I haven't gotten back into the habit, but it was very helpful when I did do it. All right, we got another live question from Sandra P. Lee. She says, the top of my scalp constantly itches. What do you think is the cause? I'm taking the hair products and I don't think it's working.
Right. So the hair growth package, if that's what you mean, that is to foster the body to, or help the body to make the hair grow, right? So it will not help if you have an issue with the scalp, like if the follicles are infected, or if you're seeing alopecia and the follicles are blocked, or if it's itching you, it means that the follicles are infected. So what you can do is get the LNU1 and the colloidal silver and use them as ointment on your scalp. Literally just shake the bottles really well and pour droplets in the palm of your hand and just rub it into your scalp. And maybe you do it 3, even 4 times daily. What you're going to do, you're going to externally nourish your scalp, nourish the pores that have likely fungal or bacteria or viruses, usually when you have those itches on the skin in general, whether it's the scalp or otherwise, is because there are viruses in the follicles causing the itching, probably causing lumps or bumps. So any kind of skin issue we have, anywhere in our bodies, have bumps, lumps, all these little things happening. The tiny little ones, very likely they're viruses in there, and then they get bigger as the viruses multiply and the viruses defecate. I'm going to scare you all now. So when viruses and bacteria, they defecate, they're actually defecating what they call microbes. And the microbes are even worse than the virus and bacteria themselves. Those are what lead to disease in the end, because the microbes are so tiny, they can burrow into the skin, they can burrow into the cells and damage the cytoplasm or the protoplasm of the cell. And eventually they can get to the DNA, damage the DNA, and that's what could lead to cancer. It may take time before that happens with lumps and bumps and cysts. And I'm talking about all bumps, cysts, lumps, bumps, follicles, nodules. That's what's going on when we have those, and we have those overgrowth in our bodies. They're actually warehouses our bodies naturally create to store all the excesses of these things that the body can't get rid of, the liver can't get rid of, the kidney can't get rid of. So the body just creates these warehouses. So now you know, write it down. Warehouses. If you have cysts, lumps, bumps, nodules, follicles, any of these things you have in your body, on your body, they're parasites. They're warehouse parasites the body creates to store things the body can't get rid of. And if the body keeps them for long enough, they turn to cancer. The nodules turn to cancer, the cysts turn to cancer, the bumps, lumps turn to cancer. And you should all should write it down, because from time to time, all of us get lumps and bumps. The question is how long they stay, how long the body takes to get rid of them, or the body can't get rid of them. If the body can't get rid of them, you're in trouble. You know, I had a client in Mount Vernon, and I've never forgotten this man. He came to me with a lump on his arm, on his forearm, a little lump. And he said, Dr. Aston, I have this little lump, and sometimes I'm watching TV, and I would play with the little lump. It wouldn't itch, it didn't do anything, it was just there, just a little lump in my arm. And then he didn't do anything about it. He asked me what it was. I told him to go to his doctor, get an x-ray, do whatever. But he came back about 2 years later. He had cancer in the lump, and the cancer had spread to his bone. And by the time they did the CT scans and MRIs and all that stuff, the cancer was in his bone marrow over his body, on his arm, a little lump. It wasn't a sore. So, and I've seen it numerous times with other people. So if you have these little things in your body, get rid of them. Do surgery and cut them out.
Well, I found that NuSpecies made my body do its own surgery.
Well, I'm just saying, people who don't want to get NuSpecies to do it, then
okay.
then just do the surgery, just cut it out. Don't sit and let it kill you.
Well, the root cause is still there, though, right? The root cause of what made the bump grow. So, yeah, don't let it sit there. Do something, but ideally, go to the root cause. That'd be more advisable.
And that's what cancer does. When that little lump or bump or mass or whatever it is turned to cancer, the cancer now follows it to the root. So the root could be in your toe. It could be in your liver. It could be in your brain. No one knows where the root cause of issues begin. It could begin anywhere in the body and manifest itself somewhere else. So that's what the cancer does. So once it turns to cancer, that weak spot, that weakness, the cancer follow it, because that's what cancer loves. Cancer or inflammation love weak places in our bodies. That's where they colonize, and then they spread out, just like humans. We put up a house close to a lake or a river or whatever, and before you know it, the family is growing into a little village until it becomes a community and then a city.
Yeah.
That's cancer. You think they're different from us or we're different from them? No, we're not. They're living creatures. And their primary goal is to multiply, just like us, kids and grandkids.
I always, when we're like on a plane and we're flying in somewhere at night and you can see the huge concentrations of light from the landscape that's below, I always look at that and think it looks like cancer on the earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all learned something today. And I give you that image because I never forget that gentleman, how he thought it was nothing. His doctors advised him to remove it, and he didn't.
Yeah, I had this bump on my wrist, and it was really hard. And I used to, when I was in like high school, color it with red pit pen, and it would like look like a little bozo nose, and I'd like make a face. And then once I started using L-One, or back then it was Body Systems, one day I went down to play with it, and it just wasn't there. Yeah.
Everyone has their little bumps that they play with. So if you have them, get rid of them.
Yeah, and I did follow up to ask Sandra if she could give more details because, maybe the itching is just like a dry scalp or something like that. And she said, no, she does have painful bumps and they pop up very often.
Yeah.
So, she's going to put the L-One on her scalp and she needs to get the other formula. So the colloidal silver. Yeah. Okay, great.
Kill it. When you see lumps, yes, you're killing creatures, but they'll kill you if you don't kill them.
So, like, would she pour some into like a cup? Both the colloidal silver and the L-One, like mix it around and then just maybe like spread it on her hands and just rub it into her scalp?
Right. I would do it in, your entire scalp. Even if you just have one area, I would just do the whole thing.
So like, let's say she has a bump like right here. She could just maybe like concentrate there, rub it on, and then generally rub it everywhere else.
I would.
Okay.
I would. And you're going to smell of NuSpecies, but guess what? You're going to have life.
Yeah. Get a shower cap or something.
Tell your family and friends, get over it.
Yeah. Should they do it should she do it at night and sleep with it in her hair?
She should do it 2 or 3 times a day.
Okay. And then, the vegetable glycerin in the L-One also separately is just great for moisturizing hair. So that will be a nice hair treatment. But depending on the type of hair you have and how often you wash your hair, you may want to follow up with Aston for some other ideas because some people with, curly hair or more drier, coarse type hair don't wash their hair more than like once a week. So that could really build up. I'm not sure.
Right. So just get it to the scalp. The good thing is that NuSpecies formulas naturally kill viruses and bacteria, in case you all didn't know that. So you can use any of our formulas on your skin externally. You can use it anywhere in your skin. I used to get calluses on my foot, especially when I run long distance. And one day somehow I decided to put some NuSpecies on my foot bottom and my toes. And believe it or not, within 2 days they were gone, completely gone. Just the natural skin remains. So here you go. NuSpecies is probably well made. Maybe God has something to do with it.
Our son Giovanni always makes fun of Aston he says he slaps the NuSpecies all over him every day because this is daddy.
It's my
makes fun of him.
It's my second shower. NuSpecies shower.
All right, we have a couple of more pre-submitted questions that might be quickies. So from Justin, good morning, Aston. What's the best product for weight loss? He wrote weight loss / Weight Watchers, but I'm assuming he just generally means weight loss.
So weight gain, you will need a consultation because we need to know, one, do you have a thyroid issue? Thyroid issues can cause weight loss and weight gain, but especially weight gain. Do you have diabetes? If you have diabetes, it can cause weight gain, especially if you're taking metformin. Do you have a liver issue? Do you have a pancreatic issue? These are 2 of the other primary digestive organs. If you have those issues, those could be contributing to weight gain. So we have to know what's causing the weight gain, or it's just that you're eating certain foods that your body can't digest. We need to know what those foods are so we can guide you as to what, you should eat. So when it comes to weight loss, it is a lot more significant for some people. It's not just dietary changes. There are people who come to me who eat little or nothing and they still gain weight. There are people who come to me, they're in the gym 4 or 5 days a week and they gain weight. So everybody's body is different when it comes to weight loss or weight gain. So I would like to see the lab reports and I would like to see the urinalysis so that we can do some analysis as to what's likely causing the weight gain or weight loss. So just to say, taking the NuSpecies Detox And the LNU1, the body system LNU1, those are typically what anyone would need to start, rebuilding their bodies and removing excess fecal matter from the intestine and the colon. And some people use those too and end up losing 10 pounds, 15, 20 pounds over a month or two. But that's just the body just getting rid of a lot of waste that's in the blood, that's in the intestinal tract. When it comes to the actual weight loss, it could be caused from that, other digestive issues, so that we would need to be aware of. Otherwise, you're going to take something from us and you're going to plateau. And then you're going to say, oh, this thing don't work. So if it doesn't work, it's because you're not getting what you should get to promote the weight loss.
Yeah. Weight loss is a very big topic, and there's a huge amount of factors that correlate to why. There can be emotional factors, behavioral factors. Some people just ask Aston, like, what do I eat? And he tells them, well, just don't eat these things. And they're like, okay. They listen to him and they lose a bunch of weight. Other people just need our detox because they're just so backed up. They lost 15 pounds just removing fecal matter.
A lot of people walk around with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in the intestines.
Yeah.
And
then
they
for
don't
other
know.
people, it's hormonal issues.
Right.
Or it's major digestive issues that need more than just the detox. There could be so many root causes. Unfortunately, the weight loss industry has thrived and created this silver bullet mindset about weight loss, that if you just take this one thing or you just do this one thing, that you will lose the weight. And it's really a unique thing for each person. And it's something that you would need to dedicate some time to explore for yourself and do a little bit of trial and error until you figure out what's the root cause for you. All right. CW, we missed one of his follow-up questions, or she or he, sorry, CW, I never know. Their follow-up question was, what if you move your bowel consistently once a day in the evening? Is that okay or good enough?
If you're eating 3 meals or more per day, just think about that. Every meal should be a bowel action. It shouldn't be sitting in your body for days. So some people have meals sitting in their body over a week, 2 weeks, and don't realize it. So if you're just doing once a day, that's better than not doing it every day. But if you're eating 3 meals a day and you're eating other things, it needs to be. So this is what should be the goal of everyone. Whatever you eat today, tomorrow it should be gone from your system. Your muscles, the peristalsis muscles, the digestive organs should be able to process it, and it get pushed out of your body, within 24 hours. If it's sitting in there, you're harboring chemicals. You're harboring these poisonous chemicals from nitrogen. Nitrogen is one of the most prevalent chemicals in our bodies. And as you all know, that you can use nitrogen to make bombs. You can use nitrogen to make fertilizer, those poisonous things that help to kill these creatures in the soil. I'm just trying to illustrate to you how bad it is to have all this waste matter sitting in the colon or the rectum. And it leads to all these health issues people get. And I'm telling you what I see. A lot of people who have all these autoimmune diseases that they get in their stomach or their intestine or their colon is because of digestive issues that build up for years. So that should be, I think, beside the blood, the cleanest part of the human body, the digestive tract, the stomach, the intestine, the colon, and rectum.
Which is a big benefit of NuSpecies Detox Powder, because when you drink it, you mix it into the water and you drink it, it coats the entire lining of your intestines, colon. And so it's not just like taking a tea or some kind of other herb that just washes you out like a cleanse. This is actually helping your body pull fecal matter from the lining of your entire intestinal tract and colon, which is why people will report that they see the largest bowel movements they have ever seen before when they're using our detox, because you're really getting all of that backed up stuff out, not just quickly flushing out your colon. Which is also why it's safe to use every single day, because it's a gentle, I like to think of it like a gentle scrubbing. All right.
Right. It's designed for you to take every day, because we know that a lot of us don't eat well enough to have the fiber and the nutrients, because our detox is actually a nutritional detox, believe it or not. Even though you're taking the powder, the capsule for the colon, is a nutritional detox. And again, it's completely natural. So a lot of us are not eating the fiber and the kind of foods that our intestine and our colon require for these things to move through. And so the detox, it get digested in from the mouth to the stomach to the small intestine. It's digested. It's not a chemical that just washing things away like a river. No, it's a formula that is whole food, and the stomach has to digest it. The small intestine has to digest it, and that's how it works to push the things out naturally and scrub the walls of the intestine and the colon on its way out. So yes, our detox, you can take it every day. I have clients who have been taking it for more than a decade nonstop, and they use it to regulate their blood pressure, their diabetes, their cholesterol, and just going will have the body to regulate itself from a lot of disease conditions, believe it or not. So the detox is not just a detox; it's a very powerful formulation to support the body in general from developing diseases.
We have a great follow-up question to that from Audrey. So Audrey had asked, what about slippery elm though, and how long should we use the detox? So I followed up, like, what is your specific question about slippery elm? That is one of the herbs in our formula. Mm-hmm. And then she asked, and I'm not sure if this is specifically in response to my question, but she said, won't your body get too dependent on it taken every day? And that's a great question. And that is a concern with a lot of products, but it is not a concern with our detox powder, because like all of NuSpecies formulas, they are working with your body's natural functions. They are not doing anything for your body. So where a lot of products for digestive cleansing or colon cleansing, they are designed to do something to your body, whether or not your body wants to do it. NuSpecies formulas are not designed like that. They require your body to utilize them. So there are some people who are really backed up. Their digestive system is really clogged, and they take our detox sometimes for a week and they're like, I don't notice anything. It takes a while before their body can actually do the work. And then when they finally release, there's like a week's worth of detox in there, and it's massive. So our formulas don't make your body do anything it doesn't want to do. That's why I said, like, even if you take our detox powder every day, but you're not drinking enough water, if you're not actually fostering movement in your intestines, then it's just going to sit there and wait until your body's ready to move it out. Which is why it's not habit forming, and it is completely safe to use every single day. Because, ideally, if you ate a really whole food diet full of fiber and hydrogen for hydration, and you exercised, you'd be moving your bowels really well, and maybe you wouldn't need to take our detox every single day. But for 99.9% of humans, we're living a modern lifestyle and eating a lot of processed food, it would actually be more dangerous to not use our detox every day. Your body is actually really depending on it because of the other things we're doing to our body. It's not depending on our detox because our detox is creating that situation. So I hope that makes sense.
Well, that was an excellent point, because it makes now me to give you additional information. I have had many hundreds of people over the years who come to me who have lazy colon, intestinal, and rectal tract. Lazy. You know why they were lazy? Because of what you just said. They were taking these chemical washout for years because they weren't going the way they should. So they do the chemical washouts. So yes, guess what happens? We just talk about peristalsis, the muscle that have to push things out. Tell me no, people. If you have a muscle, whether your arm or your leg, or your brain or your heart, and you're not using it, what's going to happen? It's going to go lazy. And that's what happened with a lot of these people who take these chemical washout. They take it so much that the peristalsis muscle in their stomach, in their intestine, colon, and rectum become lazy. And now they become chronic constipated because the muscles are no longer working. And even the chemicals they're taking for the washout no longer working. And then they come to NuSpecies. So as I said to you before, our detox is a natural detox. It has to be digested to work. The stomach and the small intestine, they have to digest the detox for it to work. So that's the difference with chemicals and the difference with using something natural that the body uses to detox itself. So our detox, your body, our bodies are using it to detoxify itself. That's the difference. And it's a nutritional detox, as I said before. So those of you who are taking these chemical detox, you need to stop, because in the end, when the intestine become lazy and you're not going the way you should go, a lot of people develop high blood pressure. It's a lot of stress when someone has fecal matter building up in the body. It can lead to high blood pressure and other diseases. See? So that's a great question that allows me to explain more about clients who have come to me with the very situation I think you're referring to.
Sandra just follows up to let you know that she forgot, but that she does have a small patch of alopecia on the side of her scalp, and that the hair grows a little and then it falls out after it grows. Does that change anything that you said before, or just make it more relevant?
It makes it more relevant.
Okay.
There are viruses or microbes that are in, that's what causes alopecia.
Okay.
It's the hair loss. It's not just, it's a hormonal issue that lead to that. So one thing caused the other, alopecia, from hormone imbalance.
Okay, great. And then lastly, if unless anything else comes in through the live chat, we just have one more pre-submitted question. That's a quickie. Mm-hmm. Can a 4-year-old who gets a head cold use any of your products? So the general response there, the FDA says that children under 6 or only people over 6 years old can use nutritional supplements. Mm-hmm. And so we do have to put that on our labels. Or at least our label says to consult with a doctor for anyone pregnant or young children before using the products. So we would recommend, if you do want to give our formulas to your young child, to just check with your doctor first. Many parents have made that decision for their children. We just can't tell you to do it. So that's totally up to you. Once you read the ingredients, you know your child, if they have allergies or sensitivities, and you talk to your doctor, that's a decision that you can make for yourself. Mm-hmm. All right. Audrey said, oh, wow, I thought follicles die as we age. Maybe she's thinking of like uterine follicles, like ones like for estrogen issues. Is that what you're thinking, Audrey?
I don't know. I guess that's what aging does. Aging kills everything.
Including us.
And
follicles are dying, and so are we.
my grandmother died at 99, and she died with a full head of hair, and her hair was long, catching her down to her bottom, and she had a full head of hair. So, and I know a lot of older people who died like that. So it's all comes down to good nutrition. For aging is the disease that cause, or should I say, premature aging and aging are the two diseases that cause us to get all the health issues we get, including cancer, blood pressure, diabetes. Those are all signs. Every disease is a sign of aging. Is the organ aging? For diabetes, the pancreas, the blood vessels are aging. That's what causes high blood pressure. Heart disease, the heart is aging. It's losing muscle mass of our brain. So every disease is a symptom of aging. Even if you are 1 year old, it means that the tissue, the DNA, the genes in that organ, they're deformed or damaged. And that's a form of aging. So all diseases we have are symptoms of aging, unfortunately. And they eventually kill us all.
Audrey says, I didn't realize that hormonal issues caused alopecia or cause hair loss.
It's one of the primary causes, probably 99% of the time. So if you, I'm just going to give you some hints, Audrey, so you can talk with me. Otherwise, if you have had anemia or low RBC or low hemoglobin, if you have had fibroids or ovarian cysts or endometriosis or ovarian cysts, dense breasts, all these issues, any one of these issues, a thyroid nodule, these are all a few of the more common signs. Each one is a sign of hormonal imbalance, and usually they're related to estrogen and testosterone. So what you can do is do a hormone panel, ask your PCP to do a complete hormone panel, And you can also make sure they include your testosterone and your estrogen levels. Usually those are the two coppers for women.
Okay. Whew. Well, I will end that on a final note, which is that I was talking with my mom about some medical treatment that was being recommended to her. And she was saying, you know, I happened to be flipping through a magazine and saw an advertisement for this medication. And it listed like all the exact things that I was going through. And it was saying like, as we age, this particular thing happens. And it's why you need this medication. And she's like, but you know what, Jillian? And I was like, this is such a great NuSpecian moment. She's like, I know what that means. It's not age that causes it. It's just that I've been living so long damaging my body that now I have this thing. And if I stop doing that to my body can heal.
She said
so
that?
I don't need this medication.
Your mom said that?
She did. I was so proud of her.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's pretty infuriating to me that, you know, medication could be advertised. And of course they can do it legally, but it just reinforces this idea that aging alone is what causes all these issues. But it's not that you are 60 that you have this issue. It's that you've lived 60 years damaging your body. But if you stop doing that thing that damages your body would love, no matter at what age, to fix itself. And that's the primary thing that we say at NuSpecies and why we make our formulas, to support the body's natural functions, not to be treatments or remedies or force your body to do anything, because your body already wants to do it. It already knows how to fix itself. You just need to get out of its way and let it do its job.
Yeah, all that fun junk you eat and drink, you know, that's all that stuff.
And I'll say we eat, right? No one is an exception.
We are using it to block the way our bodies naturally function. Mm-hmm. The natural way our body works, we're just blocking the functions. And if you block your blood vessel, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. If you block the pancreas from producing insulin, you're going to get diabetes. And you could keep going for every disease in the universe. Just let the body, as you say, do what it needs to do. But you got to give it what it needs. You got to give it what it needs. Alrighty?
Oh, sorry. A couple more quick things. Sandra said, I'm taking Queen Nanny. Should I continue taking it? She's the one with the alopecia and the hair.
Yes.
And the bumps. Yes. Okay. Yes, Sandra. Yes. And Audrey says, I see why we need your medical practice. Yes. And then a quick question. Good morning. What's the difference between the two bee pollens? Just potency. So per dose, you're getting more bee pollen than if in the 9 than in the 1. So you could buy the 1 and just take it, take larger doses and just buy it more often. Or you could just buy the bee pollen 9, spend a little more and take less doses because you're getting a higher potency per dose. Mm-hmm. So folks who really do need pretty high doses, it just makes more sense for them to get the bee pollen 9 so they don't have to take as many doses to get the same effect. That's the only difference. And on that note, we must end the show now, but this was wonderful. This is such an engaging chat. Thank you so much, all of you, for having this conversation with us. It's such a pleasure. And if you haven't joined our email list, please do so. Mary, maybe we could pop that link in the chat before we go. Even once the show ends, we leave it live for a little bit so you can go back and get those links you need from the chat. So you can click this link and join our email list and give us permission to reach out to you so that you don't have to remember to reach out to us. And you can download our app as well and get notifications so you'll know when there are up-to-the-minute updates regarding store closures, promotions, and any other great things that are happening at NuSpecies.
All right. Have a great weekend. Good to talk to you as always.